Joy to the world, the word is come. Let earth with praises ring. Let every heart prepare a room, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing. Joy to the earth, now gladness reigns. Let hearts their songs employ, while fields and floods, rock hills and plains, repeat the sounding joy, repeat the sounding joy, repeat the sounding joy. No more let sins and sorrows grow, nor thorns infest the ground. Let righteousness its glories shine, as far as love is found, as far as love is found, as far as love is found.
What child is this who laid to rest on Mary's lap is sleeping, whom angels greet with anthems sweet, while shepherds watch are keeping. This is Christ the King, whom shepherds greet and angels sing. Haste, haste to bring him, Lord, the babe, the Son of Mary. So bring him incense, gold, and myrrh. Come, peasant, king, to own him. The King of kings salvation brings. Let loving hearts enthrone him. Raise, raise the song on high. The Virgin sings her lullaby. Joy, joy, for Christ is born, the babe, the Son of Mary.
do you appear to me? Star of wonder, if you will. In the morning they'll come looking for the shepherd on the hill. What would make her leave her flock? For surely she must love them still. Star of wonder in the heavens, are you just a shining star, or should I follow you tonight? Star of wonder, star of wonder, shining bright.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire, Jack Frost nipping at your nose, Yuletide carols being sung by the choir, and folks dressed up in puffy clothes. All vegans know tofurkey and some mistletoe help to make the season bright. Tiny tots with their eyes all aglow will find it hard to sleep tonight. They know that Santa's on his way. He's loaded lots of toys and goodies on his sleigh. And every mother's child is gonna spy to see if reindeers really know how to fly. And so I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you. And so I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas to you.
So bright the sun on Christmas morn that fills the eastern star, gleaming like a golden horn, whose song will never die.
So pure the snow
So
on
pure the
Christmas
snow,
Day, the winter world is
the winter world is proud,
brighter still with every ray, with every golden
crown.
Now all the earth is whispering beneath the heavens glow. Hush, the angels softly sing, the baby sleeps below.
The baby sleeps below.
Rejoice! Rejoice!
The baby sleeps below.
So clear the sky,
So clear the
storm that
sky
watches
that
overhead,
watches overhead,
echoing the joyous song from lowly age to
the
Now all the earth is caroling beneath the golden sun. Rejoice, the angels gladly sing, the music has begun. Now all the earth is caroling beneath the golden sun. Rejoice, the angels gladly sing, the music has begun. Rejoice! Rejoice! The music has begun.
Well, good evening. Good evening. Good evening to you, my dear. And welcome, welcome, welcome to the Christmas Eve service at First Universalist Church, where we are called to nurture the spirit and to serve the community. If you are here for the first time this evening, or if you have been here many, many times, welcome. If you are joining us online from the comfort of your own home or next to your family in another place entirely, welcome. However you got here, whoever you are welcome here. If you would like to remain connected after this evening to this congregation, a visitor's form can be found in the back of your order of service or by clicking on the link in the chat. It is good to be together this evening, and I know some of us were able to trickle in during our beautiful prelude this evening, provided by so many folks from this congregation. So before we take a moment to actually warmly greet one another and warmly greet who we are around, let us please take a moment to connect with our online community from here in person. So if you'll turn towards Hope, towards the back, and offer a wave. It is good to have you with us. Wherever you are joining us from, we are grateful that you are here. If you are online, please pop into the chat and offer us a greeting. Let us know where you're here from. If you are here in person, please turn to your neighbor and offer a greeting this evening. All right, my dears, let us begin our singing for the evening. Please rise in body or in spirit to sing our first hymn of the evening, hymn number 253, O Come All Ye Faithful. Please note that the words will be up here on your screen. It's in Latin in the hymnal. We changed it into the English up here on the screen. I guess if you want to sing the Latin, you can do it. Whatever, sing both, whatever.
Joyful and
Oh, come, even if you are not that faithful. Come to celebrate the ancient story. Come to sing the songs. Come to hold the silence. Come to light the candles. For it is Christmas Eve, after all. Come, come, whoever you are. Whether you have heard the story 1,000 times, or this is the first Christmas Eve in a church. Come, whether you are curious or resigned. Come and join in this celebration, this reminder, this holy night. Come, let us worship together. Would somebody, anybody? Would Roman and Jahara, would you come and join and light the chalice for us?
You gotta put the baby Jesus down.
We light our chalice with these words from Sophia Faz. For so the children come, and so they have been coming. Always in the same way they come, born of the seed of parents who loved them. No angels heard their beginnings. No prophets predict their future courses. No wise men see a star to show where to find the babe that will save humankind. Yet each night a child is born is a holy night. And the parents together want to say, sitting beside their children's cribs, feel glory in the sight of a new life beginning. They ask, where and how will this new life end? Or will it ever end? Each night a child is born is a holy night, a time for singing, a time for wondering, a time for worshiping. We'll now sing, Oh, It Came Upon a Midnight Clear, number 244.
Please rise in body or in spirit and join us in singing out.
To
This is a reading from Scripture, Luke 2, verses 1 through 20. In those days, Caesar Augustus issued a decree that a census should be taken of the entire Roman world. This was the first census that took place while Quirinius was governor of Syria, and everyone went to their own town to register. So Joseph also went up from the town of Nazareth in Galilee to Judea, to Bethlehem, the town of David, because he belonged to the house and line of David. He went there to register with Mary, who was pledged to be married to him and was expecting a child. While they were there, the time came for the baby to be born, and she gave birth to her firstborn, a son. She wrapped him in cloths and placed him in a manger, because there was no guest room available for them. And there were shepherds living out in the fields nearby, keeping watch over their flocks at night. An angel of the Lord appeared to them, and the glory of the Lord shone around them. They were terrified. But the angel said to them, "Do not be afraid. I bring you good news that will cause great joy for all the people. Today in the town of David, a Savior has been born. To you, he is the Messiah, the Lord. This will be a sign to you. You will find a baby wrapped in cloths and lying in a manger." Suddenly, a great company of the heavenly host appeared with the angel, praising God and saying, "Glory to God in the highest heaven, and on earth peace to those on whom his favor rests." When the angels had left them and gone into heaven, the shepherds said to one another, "Let's go to Bethlehem and see this thing that has happened, which the Lord has told us about." So they hurried off and found Mary and Joseph and the baby who was lying in the manger. When they had seen him, they spread the word concerning what had been told them about this child, and all who heard it were amazed at what the shepherds said to them. But Mary treasured up all these things and pondered them in her heart. The shepherds returned, glorifying and praising God for all the things they had heard and seen, which were just as they had been told. Now turn to 235 for Deck the Halls. Stand in body or spirit.
Please be seated. On this very evening, when we look to the babe in the arms of parents, moving through housing instability, judgment, surveillance by the government, persecution. I am reminded of the need for generosity in these times. I am reminded that so many are not cared for in our current healthcare system, housing system, economic landscape, and in the future we are all anticipating. This is where the work of the minister's discretionary fund can be most critical. This fund is used to help people buy groceries and gas, to support people who are living with housing insecurity in our congregation, to help out with paying bills, to be sure someone has a safe place to be for the night. The minister's discretionary fund has been critical for people in our community, and I imagine will be growing more critical in the year ahead and in years to come. This is a fund that I use and that our congregation uses to fill in the gaps, often a last option. Our offering this evening goes to support the generosity of this congregation through this fund, to support emergency, immediate financial relief for those of us who come through these doors seeking help. So please, if you can this evening, give generously. You are invited to place your offering in the basket or to give online by scanning the QR code in the back of your order of service or clicking the link in the chat. Thank you for your generosity. And this evening's offering will now be gratefully received. Thank you. Wow. You know what I'm saying? That was amazing.
And so we will enter the barn where that manger lay, where Jesus was born. This is that moment you've been waiting for. Even if you do not have a mask, you can still participate vocally. But we will do so with a little help from Margaret Wise Brown tonight and from our gathered community. If you were given a costume, you can get it ready. And if you want to turn to gallery view online, we do not blame you. The facial reactions are priceless.
So we begin Christmas in the Barn by Margaret Wise Brown. In a big, warm barn, in an ancient field.
The sheep baaed. Do we have any sheep in the house? Would you baa with us? Baa. Oh, thank you.
The donkeys squealed. Are there any donkeys in the house? Eeyaw, eeyaw.
The cows mooed. Do we have any cows in the house? I see them. Would you moo with us? Moo.
The doves cooed. Coo, coo, coo.
And quietly, the daylight died in the subset of the west.
And a star rose brighter, than all stars in the sky. The mice scampered in the hay.
Mice? I see some mice. And two people who had lost their way walked into the barn at the end of the day.
Do you want to come up and wander in? This is your moment. And they were allowed to sleep in the hay because there was no room at the inn.
And the little mice rustled in the sweet, dry grass. Mice.
The cows mooed. Very good. The sheep baaed.
The little donkeys brayed. Ee-haw, ee-haw.
The doves cooed.
And there they were, all safe and warm, all together in that ancient barn, when hail,
the first wail of a newborn babe, reached the night where one great star was burning bright. And the
And the wise men and their camels, clip-clop, clip-clop. And the shepherds with their sheep, bah.
And the angels from on high are come to watch him sleep.
What child is this who is born here, away in a manger, no crib for a bed?
You got it, girl. It's baby Jesus. The little child sleeps. Shh, you're right. You gotta be quiet.
And the donkeys squeal. Yeah. The cows moo. The sheep baa. The doves coo. And the field mice scamper in the hay.
The star goes down. Yet the wise ones and their camels stay to see the dawning day.
The child was sleeping in the hay, and there they were, all safe and warm, all together in the ancient barn.
Yay, we're here. Thanks so much for your help, Johara. You played the role beautifully this evening.
Yay, everybody!
Well, dear ones, how's your Christmas Eve been, huh? Good, good. Well, I hate to be the Grinch about it, but I have to tell you that when it snowed this morning, it set the whole beginning of my day off. Anybody else? Maybe. I was trying to get out of my house in a rush, trying to get to a bunch of things. I had to clear off the car unexpectedly. I never check the weather beforehand. I found myself angry with drivers who were not going fast enough. Angry with drivers who had not cleaned off their cars enough. And then their car snow was coming back on my car. Angry with people not noticing the fire truck on the street and moving out of the way. I became a real Grinch at the start of this morning. And I learned a little something that I wanted to share with you this evening. Has anybody seen The Grinch? Okay, good. Thank God. We've got some experts in the room. I learned that not only was the Grinch's problem that his heart was too small, do you remember? Yes. But rather also that fear can harden our hearts and can cut us off from the generosity and the abundance around us. I realized in a moment that I was caught up in my fears. Fears of not arriving where I wanted to be at a particular time, fears of disappointing others, fears that perhaps this fire truck wouldn't get to where it needed to go to help people, fears of not getting to all that I wanted to get to today. I wonder if you have felt this fear in this busy season. I wonder if you have been there. And then later this morning, I got a call that a woman in our congregation, Robin, was in the hospital and would like a visit. And I have to tell you that it really put all of my fears, put my entire day in perspective. Somebody whom we know and love that is a part of this congregation has to spend her Christmas Eve there, where her family has to come and visit her, where she is looking at possibilities of surgery and living with a lot of pain. When I went to go and be at her bedside, she asked to join us online, and I hope that you're here this evening, Robin, with us. She requested prayers for healing and an end to suffering for herself. And I will ask all of you to keep Robin in your prayers. It put it all in perspective for me today. If we go back to our story that Kitty so beautifully read, when the angel arrives on the scene to greet the shepherd, the first thing they say is, "Be not afraid." Or even, "Do not be afraid." It depends on your translation. When Mary first learns she is pregnant, an angel appears, and the first thing they say is, "Be not afraid." Some have posited that this is because being met with the awe and the magnitude of an angel can be quite frightening. Being surrounded by the glory of the Lord is described as terrifying, and I would imagine I would be scared too if I was going about my sheep herding business and was all of a sudden interrupted by an angel. I got scared earlier today just at the inconvenience of snow and time. I would really be terrified then. And yet, in these days, in these moments, sometimes it can feel like fear is magnified. Like it's just right under the surface. These have been fearful times. Times when we are looking ahead to a quite uncertain future. Times when some of the things we can be certain about in 2025 are quite daunting. I could make a list of it all, but I can imagine you can make your own lists. There is so much to be afraid of. And yet we gather this evening to herald and celebrate the birth of a babe. Baby Jesus. The birth of a Palestinian Jewish child living in Bethlehem. This child arrives into his context when things looked much different there, or perhaps not as different as we would think. This child arrives into our context here in a time when many of us worry and pray for the babies born in Palestine these days. When empire continues to rule wherever we look, when children are being killed because of where they live and what kind of threat they pose to leaders who believe their lives do not matter. I saw an illustration of the Holy Family this past week under rubble with the tagline, "Christ is found under the rubble." I saw at the beginning of Advent in the Vatican, of all places, placing the baby in the nativity scene in a manger swaddled in the Palestinian keffiyeh. We are seeing Palestinian Christians in Gaza holding silent Christmas celebrations with no lights nor decorations around to honor the reality that they are facing war and attempted destruction. That Jesus' story is about a child being born into a oppressive regime in a time when his power threatened appointed leaders. I share this with you all, not to shame us this evening for our festive activities, but to remind us that this time looks different in different contexts, that we can hold our own joy here while also seeking to bear witness to suffering, to what is going on in our world. I would be remiss to not mention that this child was born without a permanent home. And in our context, in our city, we just had homeless encampments swept this past week, where so many lost their temporary shelter and the hope of that shelter becoming more permanent. So much to be afraid of, so much to worry about and to fear. Into our story tonight, a child is born, and an angel appears to a shepherd. "Be not afraid, for I bring you good news. This babe is born again. This babe will show you ways to resist empire. This babe will live a life of being in deep relationship with his friends. This babe will live a life where he goes into the space where moneylenders do business and he will overturn their tables. This babe will bring a message of love and hope to so many. This babe, this ordinary child, this story we tell again and again and again. In the midst of the story, at its very beginning, an angel appears and says, "Be not afraid." A message for us here tonight as well. Be not afraid, dear ones. We still have each other. We still have loved ones, both those in our families of origin and our families of choice. We have the people in our community, in this church, who are here in Rochester this evening and who are spread out across the country, possibly even the world. Be not afraid, dear ones. We have ancestors and so many old stories that can show us the way, where people have made a way out of no way, where loved ones have resisted together. We know the love and loss that comes when someone we have held dear is gone from our days too soon. And we know the hope of the new beginning of a life, of a precious child, baby Jesus, being born. Be not afraid. What you are seeing and experiencing is real. I imagine the shepherds in the story stood in disbelief over what they have seen and heard this night, in disbelief that an angel is right before them, So many of us may be in disbelief these days about what we are seeing and experiencing. What is going on in the news, in our lives? Be not afraid. What you are seeing and experiencing is real. You have witnesses here with you. Be not afraid, dear ones. The days and times ahead will require that each of us acts in the midst of fear and worry. Still your heart and listen. You will find the voice of inner knowing there. A voice of the divine, a voice of your most sacred held values, a voice guided by the universe. Be not afraid, dear ones. For this night is a holy night where we are encouraged to be wrapped up in the joy and the light of this season, where the sun has returned on the solstice and this child has been born. Beautiful. Bringing hopes that the future can be different, leaving traces through the story of his life for us to follow in the face of fear and uncertainty. Be not afraid. We are here again to tell this old story, to join voices in song, to be present to the miracle that is this life. Be not afraid. Be not afraid. Be not afraid. Amen. Blessed be, and may it be so. Let us sing, beloveds. Let us sing of angels. Let us be that alleluia in this moment. Let us be not afraid. So let us join in singing hymn number 231, Angels We Have Heard on High.
Angels, we have heard
Dear ones, please be seated as we enter into a time of prayer and meditation. I'll invite you to just take a deep breath wherever you are. As we turn towards the quiet, dark. As we transport ourselves to the manger, to the dark, to the womb that held the babe before its first cry, first breath, to the darkness that resides in each of us as we close our eyes and go within. A babe is born, and they are a sign of hope, a promise of a future to come, an impossible being brought forth, a miracle. Each one of us, children, each one of us, children grown, a story of survival, a story of ancestors' sacrifice, a story of what could have been different. Surrounded by love, the baby cries and is comforted. So too may our tears come on this night, holding the sorrows of those we are missing this year, holding the tender moments of a heart's needs exposed, holding concern of those we know and love who are sick, in the hospital. May we too be comforted by the loved ones around us, by the lights and the songs and the stories of old, by the sweet reunions with those we don't get to see as often as we would like, by the celebrations this time of year can hold for so many. In the darkness we are held, in the joys and the sorrows of this season. In the darkness, the baby sleeps, once quieted. Deep breaths, its chest rising and falling. In the darkness, let our hearts be held here in hope and possibility. Let our breath be in sync with the baby, deep and true. In the darkness, let the silence speak to us. Amen. Blessed be, and may it be so.
We are reminded this evening that we are connected to one another. Reminded that this is indeed a holy night. And we honor this holiness and this connection to one another by lighting candles. We honor the child in each of us, the child that has grown to be our enemy, the child in those that we love. The magic of the candle's light
reminds us that we are each of us human, each connected, each present through the work of Christmas and the everyday stuff of life. So let us light candles. Those on the end of the row can bend your candle to the candles lit next to you. To pass it along, hold the lit candle upright and bend the unlit candle into the lit candle to avoid burning each other with hot wax. We will hold the lighting of candles in silence and dim the lights. We invite you to meditate on the flame before you. Take a moment to gaze upon that flame that represents you, your being, your soul, your body, your spirit. Now take a moment to look around at all the faces illuminated alongside you, their light, their faces, and the sacred connection present here. Let this be our meditation from Howard Thurman. When the song of the angels is still, when the star in the sky is gone, when the kings and the princes are home, when the shepherds are back with their flock, the work of Christmas begins. To find the lost, to heal the broken, to feed the hungry, to release the prisoner, to rebuild the nations, to bring peace among others, to make music in the heart. We will sing Silent Night, beginning with one verse of Stille Nacht, and our service will conclude. Feel free to remain as long as you like in silence. You can keep your candle lit after we end singing, or you can snuff it out. Please join us in singing together.